Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paula's Soapbox Live. My guest tonight stars in not one, but two different web series, Cell and Super Knocked Up. In Cell, she plays Sarah, a woman being held captive against her will. And in Super Knocked Up, she plays Jessica James, aka Darkstar, a supervillain who becomes pregnant after a one-night stand with a superhero named Captain Amazing. She's here to talk about both of these roles, so please welcome to the show actress Jourdan Gibson.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
So
thank
glad
you for coming.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Super Knocked Up, you
Yes.
joined the show in its second season
Uh-huh.
as a recast, and it was already popular. So, what was that like coming into an already established role and a show that was already established?
Oh goodness, it was amazing. I mean, yeah, the end of the story is that it was amazing. The beginning of the story was that I was nervous about it because everyone really, they loved the character that Natalie Bain had created with Jeff, and so first season, it's what they had kind of, I guess, accepted as who Jessica James was, and she was brunette, and we looked different, and we acted different in the role, and but Jeff right off the bat made me feel so comfortable and so welcome. Just immediately, he was like, "You're gonna do great. It's gonna be the same name, the same storyline, but a completely different version of the same character." And he was just had so much faith in me, and he really just let me play with the role and just make it my own. So I think the first week before we really started talking, I was like, wait, what am I getting myself into? But and the fans were amazing. They were just so accepting, and it was a wonderful experience.
Well, that's good that the fans were accepting because
Yeah.
that doesn't always happen with a recast.
I know, and the online audience is very honest,
Right.
which can be terrifying. Yeah, no, everyone was really cool about it. Yeah, they just accepted me, and I think they knew that we were trying really hard, and we wanted to keep the series going, and I was just so excited about the role. That maybe they saw some of my enthusiasm and were like, oh, bless her heart, okay, let's be nice and accept her in this role, and yeah, they just made me really feel at home. So it was
Right. Well,
cool.
that's good. So, had you watched the first season before you auditioned or were approached for this role?
Yes, actually, I did. I had heard of Super Knocked Up, and I'd seen little clips of it online just because I'm involved in the web community. So I was just looking through different casting breakdowns, and I had to do a double take when I saw that they were recasting the lead. I was like, whoa, what? So I immediately, sent in my name and resume and was like, I would love to audition, and so I did. And I watched the show, but I told myself before I watched it, you look very different than this person. If they're casting, don't get too hung up on how she portrayed it. And that was the only time I ever saw season one, because after I auditioned and got the role, Jeff was like, don't watch it again, just make it your role and don't worry about, trying to fit into how it was in the first season. So
Right.
I did see it, but it was a long time ago.
Did you think that you're going to have to dye your hair for the role?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Actually, even in my audition, I actually put a brown wig on for part of it, just joking. I was like, I can do it. I've never been brunette, but we could make it work. But fortunately, Jeff really included the fans in the conversation about if they wanted Jessica to stay brunette, and they were pretty cool about, well, you're changing everything, might as well change the hair too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so what do this show, like I said, it's really popular. So what do you think it is about it that resonates with so many people?
I think first and foremost, it's the storyline, the idea. It's one of those ideas that's so good that as soon as you hear it, you're like, how has that not been done before?
Right, exactly.
That's when you know you're onto something really good and simple, and that's just brilliant at the same time. So I think that's the first thing when people hear the synopsis of a supervillain getting knocked up by a superhero. It's very cool, and also the way it looks. I think it's so well shot, especially season 2. It was on a red camera. We had just the most amazing crew working on it to make it look good. So I think it's very captivating the way it looks. I don't know. There's so many reasons why I could say that it's popular. I think Captain Amazing has a lot to do with that. He's very funny. Mark Pazula is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jeff just did a good job overall. It's well written. It's not. You could take a comedy online and make it slapstick just completely, or you could make a comedy and you want to put some heart into it so it becomes too dramatic. I mean, he had it right in the middle. I think it was so well balanced.
Right. Well balanced, exactly. Well, I love the Dark Star character. I think that she's very layered, very complex. She's not like a villainy villain. You kind of get the sense that she's had a rough life and she's a product of her the way that she grew up, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, it must be so rewarding to play that type of character.
Oh my gosh, it really is. I mean, I think it's the best kind, the kind of character that first of all, it's opposite of me. I'm not a very villainous person. So I've certainly never been cast in the role of a villain. That's not true. I guess I was once, but you didn't find out until the end of the film that I was a bad guy. So I had to act nice the whole time. So it was nice to play someone who had some innate evil in them, but that also she's good. There's good in it. And she fights against it, which makes it, like you said, very layered and makes her more complex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that about the show. That's one of my favorite elements about the whole story behind it, because it's not just a one-note villain. There's the character has depth.
Yeah, that's so true, and a lot of that credit goes to Jeff, obviously, for writing a character that had so much, so many levels and so much depth and so much more that the audience isn't even aware of at this point.
Right. Oh, okay. So is it true that you helped put together some of the costumes for season 2?
Yeah, I did. Just mine. I can't take credit for any of the other costumes. So Jeff and I are both really big fans of superheroes and big action movies of the nature that has superheroes and supervillains. So we both just happened to match up on the outfits that we loved and the characters that we loved. Jennifer Garner's Elektra and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, those two characters we love so much, and we love the costumes. So we were like, well, let's make her a mixture. Let's make her costume a mixture of those. And so, we went online and went back and forth and figured it out. And he helped him with the corset, which is hilarious. Jeff Burns has a subscription to like sexylingerie.com or spicy lingerie. It's really funny.
That's something I did not know about him.
Yeah, you should just tweet that out.
Right.
Not with any context, Would you like to renew your subscription, Mr. Burns, to spicy lingerie? So we picked out the corset together, and the rest of it just came together pretty easily, just thinking we want it to look like liquid leggings or leather, have it be very hard, but also with a feminine touch. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it worked really well. Is that the first time that you've been involved with something like that?
Yeah, it was actually. I guess, in independent films, sometimes you bring your own wardrobe to set, but definitely that's usually normal clothing. So yeah, it was the first. Yes, it was really fun with the boots and the gloves, and there was even a leather jacket and some other crazy things that I don't think made it into the final cut.
So you're like to do more of that, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love fashion, so.
So, without giving anything away about the season finale, if the show does get a 3rd season, what would you like to see happen to your character?
Ooh, that's a great question. A lot of things. I would, this season it is kind of in the middle of. First season, she's tougher. She hasn't, connected with the baby or with Captain Amazing as much. Second season, she has this baby, so she is softer, but she's not completely broken in, that would be the end of the story. So this season it was a lot of trying to give, but then still hold back and give and then hold back. I think it would be really interesting to see a lot stronger softening of her character and then her fighting that even harder. So maybe a lot of good from her and a lot of softness and tender moments, but then at the same time, maybe when she's fighting it, a lot of really mean, evil stuff. So maybe I'd like to see a lot of big contradictions there. I think
Right.
that'd be fun to play. And then, of
Mhm.
course, Captain Amazing, if she could give him a little less of a hard time, even though it's really fun to give him a hard time.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Well,
see
I
her
would
get
like to.
fucked up again.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see like what happens to the baby, like what sorts of powers he ends
Yeah.
up with, and
Oh,
because
man.
there's just so much that can be done with this show. I think.
Oh,
I
it's
think he.
so true. So true. And if you think of the baby, he has the genetics, the evil and the good in him, and
Mhm.
all kinds of crazy, you're so right, superpower
Yeah.
possibilities. There's so much fun to be had with the baby.
Well, I love the scene where you're chasing the baby around the living room, and he's flying, and you're trying to catch him, and
Yeah, that was so much fun to film. Oh my goodness. I think I had bruises that were still there like 3 months after we wrapped.
I
Um,
bet.
it was so fun. Sorry if you can hear the thunder. It's raining and
Oh wow.
thunderstorm in New York right now.
As long as your internet doesn't cut out. I did a
I
show last
know.
night, and everyone's internet was cutting out.
Ate through my cable cord, so the internet
Yeah.
might go, but hopefully it's hanging in there.
Yeah. Okay, so you came up with a rap about the show. But
Yeah.
before we talk about that, I'm going to actually try to play that
All
so that
right.
everyone who doesn't know, what it is can hear it. So let's hope it works. I tried this last night, it worked. So let's hope it works this
All
time.
right. Okay.
Say you're sitting at your computer wondering, what should I watch? I'll tell you about a show. Let's take your viewing up a notch. It's called Super Knocked Up. Now, if you please don't interrupt, I'll answer all your queries about this super rad web series. The most kick-ass supervillain from near and from afar. Bad attitude, her life's a mess. Her name is Darkstar. In her douchebag, Exhibit a superhero here to save the day. Ladies love him and he's smoking hot. Strong and moral, yes, but humble, he is not. He's the guy Darkstar will be hazing. Allow me to introduce Captain Amazing. They have a brawl and then a night of romance. More of the story, superheroes keep on your underpants. Darkstar is crushed when the prego test says yes, not no, or maybe. Oh, crap. A superhero and a supervillain are gonna have a baby. Will they fall in love and set their hatred free? Will Darkstar go on a maniacal killing spree? Could Captain Amazing find something more important than himself? Could he ever set Pimpin' Bachelorhood on the dry and dusty shelf? The possibilities are positively mystifying. Oh, I hope no one ends up dying. Because with arch enemies from the light and dark side, we may end up with a double homicide. To see how this all goes down, give Super Knocked Up a glance. We promise violence, intrigue, and superpowered romance.
All right.
Okay, there we go. I think it worked okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
So you made that up. You wrote that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, have you been doing that for a while? Is that something you do regularly? Just kind of riff
Yeah.
on things, or?
Well, my dad, it's something that I just grew up doing with him my whole life, like rhyming and making up songs and all kinds of goofy stuff like that. So I think that's just in my blood and something I love. I love doing so much.
Well,
So
that was
it didn't take that long.
yeah, that was really good. I mean, that's a really good synopsis of the show and a really fun way of letting people know what it's about.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, I loved it. When I found it, I was like, well, I have to try to find a way to play that during the interview. So,
That's so cool of you.
yeah,
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to do. A lot of fun.
I bet. Okay, so you began acting when you were 5. So you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Do you remember what your first professional gig was?
Oh, professional? Oh, that's a good question. Well, so I did theater. I
Mhm.
did theater before, in musical theater, long before I got into film and internet acting and commercials. So gosh, theater, but I don't know if, I guess some of it was some regional theater. I definitely did. I played Annie a couple different times in my life. Annie was always my favorite Broadway musical, favorite movie. I actually have a puppy that I adopted a couple months ago and named her Annie.
Oh.
Yeah, when I was a Girl Scout, I played Annie in the competition. I mean, everything I did up until I was probably way too old, like 13, was Annie. But gosh, professional, I mean, really, when it relates to television and film, there were some commercials that I did in Austin, and I shot a couple short films and some independent features in Austin before I moved to LA. So yeah, that was probably, that was a while ago. Yeah, like right out of college. So
you've been working steady. So you're actually a lawyer. And,
yes. Yeah, that gets in the way.
Does it? Are you still practicing, or are you acting full time now?
Oh my gosh, I wish. You know, I think every actor, their dream is to act full time, and it's just so hard to get the steady work coming in. If I had if I had the financial ability to go on auditions regularly, I think I'd have a lot better chance at acting full time. But you know, I have loans from law school, and so I've on and off, I've really more on than off. I've needed to have a full-time, good-paying job. So yeah, I've consistently practiced law since I graduated law school, and in between jobs, I'll pick up film projects and I'll audition for a while and save up and audition. And yeah, I mean, my goodness, in a dream world, I would just be able to audition and be, you know, at my manager's beck and call, but I don't get to do that, at least not as of yet, and I don't play the lottery, so I don't know when that's going to happen. But yeah, I audition as much as I can. It's been too long since I have, but a lot of roles have also come through referrals and through different people that I've worked with in the past in the industry, which has been nice because that doesn't require taking time off from work for an audition. But yes, I am practicing law right now. I'm working in advertising.
Yeah, well, that's neat.
Yeah,
you sort of got like a left brain, right brain thing going on with the creative, the acting, and then the lawyering, and you know, just the So I mentioned earlier about Sale.
Yes.
And I watched this series, and you know, I blame it for my reemergence of my basement phobia from being a child. So I'm a little bit afraid of basements now after watching this show, but it was really good. Thank you. So, season 2, is that still in the works?
Oh my goodness, yes, it is. And that, I loved that experience so much. I mean, super knocked up in Cell. I'm just so blessed that those 2 roles came my way, and the characters could not be more opposite, except they're both strong females. And the characters are both written by men, which I think is so great. It's so funny, you know, they really were able to get into the psyche of a strong woman. I don't know how they did that, but they did. Yeah, season 2 is still in the works. Mark Gardner out of Austin, Texas is he's focusing on another really cool project called Weird Girls right now. If anyone wants to check that out, and you know, he's working on a bunch of different projects. The Cell is always up there.
Yeah, well, that's a good show. You know, I hope that people check that one out too, because it's a good show. It's another well-written show. And well acted. You do a wonderful job in that as well. So.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You know, it was an intense show.
Yeah.
So, how did you decompress, like after shooting each episode after filming? Because I imagine that you would have to kind of get out of that mindset of.
Yeah. Yes. We shot Cell in about, I think, 3.5 weeks, and it was all in a row. And I'm probably going to screw up some of the details, but it was in a very short time span, and we only had about a day off every 6 days, I guess. So I didn't really get too out of that headspace, which is kind of scary. It was very emotional. You know, I wanted it to be very genuine, and she was bringing to life just an awful, awful thing, and you know, things like that happen to women and happen to people, kids, men, women in general, all over the world that are kidnapped, that are taken out of their lives, and everything is completely out of their control. And it's a very, very serious subject matter. And so I didn't want to tread lightly there, and I really wanted to bring, you know, as much honesty as I could to the role. So I honestly, I was in probably a pretty dark place for about a month there, but it was worth it. And gosh, it was a crazy, intense, emotional experience, but I loved it, and I was in really good hands. That crew also was just lights out. They're so good. And Mark Gardner is a very good actor's director, and he just really, you know, took care of me.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine you being in a very dark mindset, filming something like that. I watched some of the behind the scenes clips, and you were actually in an enclosed area when you were filming, it looked like. So
yeah, they built this beautiful, if you can say beautiful to describe such a creepy, cold looking set, but it was so realistic. Yeah, and you may have seen in the behind the scenes video, it was an old Family Dollar it was a huge empty warehouse, and they built this cell that looked so real. And it was cold and wet and gross and creepy, and it really helped get all of us in the mindset that we needed to be. So
I can imagine. So what was that slop you had to eat?
Oh, I still haven't. It was oatmeal mixed with soft, salty pretzels, like big, soft pretzels. I used to love oatmeal, and I used to love big, soft pretzels. I have a pretty big problem with oatmeal.
Yeah. I can imagine, yeah. It looked disgusting, so I can imagine how it tasted.
It was, and it just sat around take after take, but it was, you know, if it had tasted good, it may not have been as realistic when I was spitting it out.
Right.
It was gross.
Okay, so at the end of season 1, the first season, the only season that's been released of Cell, you worked with Beth Chamberlain, who is probably most well known for her role as Beth on Guiding Light. So what was it like to work with her? Because she did a pretty good job with that.
Oh my gosh, she was so cool. She was so cool. I couldn't believe that I actually had the opportunity to work with her. I mean, she's so talented, and she's been doing this forever. She really knows what she's doing, and she's so comfortable in front of a camera. She was just awesome, and she let me, I mean, before I went to set, because we shot the final episode for, I think it was a couple days, and before I went to set, I was like, don't geek out on her, don't, you know, ask her a million questions, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, that was just like, and she was just so open and cool, and I was like, okay, so can I just pick your brain for a couple days? And she let me sit there. We actually filmed at my cousin's house, and so during lunch breaks, during breakfast breaks, dinner breaks, we all sat around and just got to pick her brain and ask her questions, and she was so cool.
Yeah, she seems like she would be, and she was very scary in that scene.
So. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you've seen any interviews that I've had about that, but she really slapped me.
Oh, she did? No, I missed that.
Yeah, she really slapped me hard many times.
It seemed like it was real, so I wondered about the slap, yeah. She was scary.
It was very funny. I had no idea that, well, when I knew that there was a slap in the script, I thought, I wonder, I'm going to learn how to do a fake soap opera slap.
Right, like, you know.
Never learned how to do the fake slap. It was full on. It was a full-on slap. Made my eyes water and everything. It was
man. Well, I guess that helped you stay into character, so.
Yeah, it did. The first time, and even during the rehearsals, Mark was like, all right, let's just try out the slap, and I was just kind of sitting there, you know, I thought we were going to block it, and just bam! And I was like, and my eyes started wandering, and I was like, okay, is this what's happening? Okay, I guess we're going to do this for a couple hours. It was effective.
Yeah, I would imagime. Yeah, she was very scary. Sarah, what did you do? I was like, oh wow, I've never seen her act like that before. So I remember seeing her as Beth on Guiding Lottie, and she was nothing like that. So
yeah, woo, she's got it in her. All those little bell exercises that she does.
Yeah.
But she was so cool, such a sweetheart.
So, do you currently have any other projects in the works that you want to tell us about?
I do, and actually they're personal projects that
Cool.
I'm developing on my own and with some writer friends of mine and creator friends of mine. Um, One of them is also in the superhero world. I'm working on it right now, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be, well, I'm talking with a few illustrators, so we'll see what it's going to be. If it's going to be a comic book first, if it's going to be an online comic book, or if it's going to jump straight into web series. Not sure, but I will actually be playing a superhero this time, which is nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And it'll be about superhero sisters. So it'll be me and another female who's yet to be cast, but I have a wish list.
Do you have a title yet?
I do actually. It's called Super Squared.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's two of them.
There's
Super.
two of them. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, I haven't. This is the first time I've really mentioned anything about it, so there's nothing online about it yet.
An exclusive.
It's all on my laptop in my mind and in the minds of my co-creators. So
Yeah. Well, make
I'll
sure
let
you
you
keep
know,
me make sure you keep me updated on that
I'll keep you updated.
yeah,
Definitely.
definitely want to talk to you about that when they develop
Oh,
that
my
a little bit
goodness.
more. So
I think it's going to be so fun, and
Yeah.
I just love that whole genre. Strong
Yeah.
women just running around saving the world or tearing it down, whichever.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, I have to ask you about something else.
Okay.
I heard that you like to imitate Beaker from the Muppets.
Where did you do that?
In my research,
Oh,
particularly when you mess up or make a mistake or something.
so bright red.
Right.
Wow.
So, can you like demonstrate that a little?
I don't even know. I don't even know if I can. I actually did it the other day out of the blue. I don't even know.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Yeah, really. I appreciate that. No, a friend of mine looked like Beaker and did it. He was a guy and tall and had the hair and the nose and the glasses and he would do the whole. That's as good as I can do right now.
Oh, come on.
But he was so good at it, and I think I started because we did that around each other a lot, and that is so funny. I can't imagine where I ever did that in public. I didn't even know that. That's so funny. Well, how about I'll work on my Beaker impression, and next time we meet up, it'll be
Right. Well, and then you can show me how to do it. So
Yeah, exactly. It's
Okay.
a good one.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you being on the show tonight. I know that you're very busy, but yeah, this was a lot of fun. So we'll have to do it again. So.
Oh, I loved it. You're such a sweetheart. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, the shows are Sail and Super Knocked Up, and we don't have a release date for Super Knocked Up finale yet, do we?
No, but it's impending. It should be very soon.
Okay.
Tweet
Okay.
Jeff Burns about it. Tweet Super Knocked Up about it. And Super
Okay.
Geeked Up. I think all the fans, it's now under Super Geeked Up, but it's still
Right.
the same guy running the show. So
On Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Center
they can watch Sail on is it Sail Sail
Yes.
the series or Sail
sellthewebseries.com.
and
Yeah,
superknockedup.com.
Yeah, and that's CELL, like a gel cell.
Right, just like a jail cell. All right. Well, actress Jourdan Gibson, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I will talk to you soon. Make sure that you keep me informed on your other projects so we can talk about those as
I
well.
will. Super Squared. I will.
Super Squared.
Top of my list to tell. Thanks for letting
Okay.
me.
Oh, thank you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.